Hey Corey, what's up? How's it going? So I just took a look at your draft paper, and I'm going to give you some comments on it here. And hopefully you'll be able to find these comments when you go onto the Blackboard site. So overall, the paper's awesome. You've done some really strong work here. There are a few things that you can work on, however. One thing is near the beginning, in your introduction, you have this really weird kind of awkward transition where you introduce this idea of thinking and then you go, one of the vitally important things to pay attention to while reading the news is the emotional impact. There's this abrupt shift to the news. So you may want to consider kind of just the transition that you're using between your, let's call it a hook, and then kind of introducing the topic. Also, the second paragraph that you provide is a little awkward because you write it as fact. In other words, you go, okay, people think of critical literacy, or people don't think of critical literacy, they just think of literacy. Then people grow a little bit, and then they think like this, and then people grow a little bit more, and they think like this. You're presenting that process as if that process is a fact. I'm not sure it's a fact. I think it might work like that in some cases. I'm also not sure if that's absolutely necessary for the overall logic of your paper. The paper is just a definition of critical literacy, not necessarily the process by which we become critically literate. So take that into consideration when you do the revision. Finally, my next big point, in the following paragraph when you talk about Temple, you do a lot of stuff that I don't think is necessary near the beginning of that paragraph, and then finally you get to this conversation of massified and the massification of folks, and I think that that's awesome. But put that into contrast with critical consciousness, because really the rest of your paper is about critical consciousness. What that'll allow you to do then is to come back to those two concepts, the massification and the critical consciousness, and to play with those two when you're doing your analyses. Your analyses are awesome, but we kind of lose the line of critical literacy as we're going through those. And if you think about those ideas of massification and critical consciousness, you can constantly refer back to them in those paragraphs. So for example, you can say a massified student might consider this article in this way, whereas someone who's practicing critical consciousness and is analyzing what's happening is going to start to ask these questions, etc. So a lot of what you have to do overall is just kind of nuancing some of the paragraphs that you have. And then finally, just do a quick read through, because you have some typos, just little things that I think you'll be able to find if you just spend the time taking a look at your final draft before submitting it. So I hope these comments help. All right, talk to you later.